conversation and thought we would include you in this discussion because you may have some insight for us.
We love boondocking. We really, really love boondocking. We kind of grew up with it. In this rig, we've been able to do it. We are thinking about going to a Class A, and because I have an inspection business, RV inspections, and I'm starting up tank cleaning. So I need stuff that I can clean tanks, equipment and stuff like that. So we're trying to figure out, should we stay with the fifth wheel? Should we go ahead and move over to a Class A motorhome? So this is kind of what we've been talking about.
So we're looking at the pros and cons of having a fifth wheel with a truck versus having a motorhome and towing a Jeep. So we just thought we're just going to have this conversation and we'll just let you listen along. And then if you have thoughts about that and we're missing something, leave a comment below because we want to know what you have to, what you think about this, what you have to say.
Like I said, we prefer the boondocking because we've done it for like 13 years, but now we're full-time on the road. No sticks and bricks. So kind of thinking it'd be kind of nice to have enough room to have the things that I need. We're not pushing our weights. I have a Dodge 3500. It can pull, I think I can pull 36,000 pounds. It has a high output. Also, the payload is 5,000 pounds too. So, pulling this rig, it's this 36-foot fifth wheel that we have. I have no problems with it. Our payload is 27,000 pounds that we can put into the fifth wheel. So, we haven't been over at Catskill yet. We've got to go over at Catskill. So we'll let you know how that worked out. But I think that we're okay right now. I think that we're fine. But until we have our numbers, we don't know. We have a storage unit also. And the storage unit is in Loveland, Colorado. And so she's storing her car. She has a Mercedes. She's storing her car. So we're trying to figure out, we can give up that storage unit, save a little money per month, get a Jeep and tow that behind the Class A. So we can still go down. We don't like to go, 20 miles down a dirt road. That's not what we want to do. We kind of like to go down 5 miles or so down a dirt road that's in fair shape. And be able to do that and go get away from everybody and camp that way.
So I see the benefits of having the fifth wheel. First of all, it's paid off. We own our home right now.
And the truck, incidentally.
And we own the truck. So if we go to a motorhome, one of the drawbacks is that probably would not get enough out of the truck and the fifth wheel to cover the cost of a motorhome and then my car and the Jeep. So it feels like it's going to cost us more, and so then is that setting us back in our retirement? So that's probably the biggest drawback for me and why I've been avoiding it or thinking that maybe we shouldn't do this. But then on a travel day like today, I really think how much nicer it would be to have a motorhome, because if I had a motorhome, then I could get up and go in the back, and I can, if we're hungry, get something to eat and use the necessary. And the dogs would have a little more room to wander, although they tend to sleep while we're traveling.
Plus, you'd be able to edit just a little bit easier, but it's edit videos and stuff on travel days and stuff. So. It would give her more time doing that, and she still works. So she's still working 40 hours a week. So it would give us a little more opportunity if she could work. It's a slow day, not a lot of meetings. we could be traveling down the road, and she can continue to work, and then we can go see more stuff and do more things and go more places. So
Maybe a little more flexibility.
a little more flexibility.
The other thing I like about the idea of having a motorhome that is a drawback is what Robert said. It's the space. It feels like space is just a constant issue. We've got a 36-foot fifth wheel, but it has only one bay, and part of that bay is taken up by the water system. So we've got maybe 2/3 of a bay that's actually usable space. And anytime Robert has to do anything, if he has to work on the solar, if he has to find scraps, he has to pull everything out of the bay, and then he has to put everything back in the bay, and that is getting old, and we've only been doing this for 3 months. So that's another reason we're contemplating maybe we would really like having a motorhome, having a little more room underneath in the storage area, and really give him enough space to have all the tools that he needs to do the businesses that he's doing. So what else?
Everyone out there is going to say why don't you put a rack in there? Well, the only problem with putting a rack in there is that a drawer, slide out drawer, is you're going to lose even more space on your sides and stuff like that. You're going to lose even more, and we're already at a premium. So you're going to lose some below, so you're going to lose probably 4 inches below, and then you're going to lose probably I would say 2 to 3 inches on the sides, if not more. So I just don't see being able to put drawers in there is going to help. And if you think that, well, how many times do you really get into that downstairs? It's once to twice a day. So I'm having to pull everything out once to twice a day to get to something, to only put it right back in, and then do the same thing again. And we can't put anything else underneath there. It's anything else. If we want to get something, bring something with us, we just don't have the room. Our chairs are now sitting on the bed all the time, which isn't a big deal because we just put a blanket over there. But as spiders get into the chairs, and guess where they end up at? It's not a great place.
True. Yeah.
I had one crawl across. Julie doesn't know this, but I had one crawl across my arm the other night.
Oh.
And I'm going, whoa, when I was going to sleep. And I was going, because I could feel it, and I couldn't seem to catch it. It was in the dark, but I managed to get it. But how many of you have had that same problem? Because I'm sure it's happened to you, everyone else out there too.
Life on the road.
But that's just life on the road. We won't give it up. And that's the other thing is so far in the 3 months, well, when we first started off, you guys know that it was tough. But we're really kind of liking this now. Yeah. So the weather's getting a little warmer. We can start chasing the sun now. So it'd be kind of nice to have the big panoramic views on the windshield. It'd be nice that she would have her freedom and a little bit more freedom to be able to move around and stuff and do the things that she needs to do. I have a Class A CDL, so I'm used to driving. I've been driving, trailers, trucks and trailers and stuff like that, heavy equipment, for 26 years. So that part doesn't bother me. Driving a bus, if I can be a 45-foot bus, that doesn't bother me. I'm used to getting into tight spaces and stuff. I did concrete batch. I was a concrete truck driver, and if you've ever done that kind of thing, it gets real tight on the mirrors. You miss it on a scale by about an inch or two on either side. So that stuff doesn't bother me. So I don't know. I kind of leaning towards doing the Class A just because we'd have a bigger basement that we could put more items in there. But
one thing I will say is that I do worry a bit about being more limited on boondocking, because we've talked about if we got a motorhome, we'd be getting probably a 40-foot. So is that going to limit where we're able to go? Are we going to kind of kill our ability to boondock if we have a motorhome? So again, if you have a motorhome and you boondock, let us know. Is this something we should be worried about? Are we going to be limiting ourselves to where we actually have to go and stay in a campground, or are we still going to have the ability to boondock? So that's one of the things I actually really like about our rig now. It's small enough that we've been able to, in a short time, we've been able to stay in some fun places, and we're going to be boondocking again this coming week. So that's been really nice.
And incidentally, just to let you know, we are going towards Yellowstone. Actually, not Yellowstone, but it's Grand Tetons. So you'll see upcoming videos about what we're doing there. And we're going to be boondocking there. So, but I see people with Class A motorhomes, big Class A motorhomes, and they do it there too. So I don't think it's going to limit us at all.
So what do you think? Another thing I wanted to ask is we are looking at either American Coach, Tiffin, or Newmar for the brands that we're looking at in finding a used RV. And do you guys have experience with those? We're looking at a diesel pusher as opposed to gas. And so just kind of wondering what your experience is, good, bad experiences with any of those brands, and just looking for suggestions, because we can find a lot out there but haven't really found anything concrete yet that's making us make a decision. So
yeah, we saw some. We said we were in Lovell, and we went and saw one at what was the name of that place again?
It was Bish's
Bish's
in
RV.
Cheyenne.
Horrible. They didn't take care of anything in there. It was like wallpaper would come off the walls, and they wouldn't even take care of the stuff to make it look good so people would want to buy it. And they were asking, they were probably 10,000, maybe 20,000 below market. But that motorhome was pretty good.
It was rough, yeah. One of the ones we looked at had a big scratch down the side of it, just like from bumper to bumper. It looked like they had just run all along a pole or something. I don't know what had happened. And then the other one, the cabinet apparently had been overloaded, and it was being held up with a block and a jack. It was holding the cabinet up, and I thought, oh, that's rough. No. And one of them smelled weird and probably had water damage, so.
Run away! Run away!
So anyway, what are your thoughts about that? And are there any good dealers out there? We're headed to Idaho, so we're kind of looking for reliable dealers. We've dealt with Camping World, and y'all know the story there. So
that's a whole new story.
That's a whole nother story. But anyway, we're just looking for a reputable dealer to deal with, and looking for a manufacturer that will stand behind their product.
It's not that Camping World was horrible, but they did the old oversell you, add a bunch of add-ons and stuff like that. Fortunately, we were able to, the wingman kind of told us how to get through that and get rid of it. And
that extended warranty.
We got rid of that extended warranty and actually got a refund on that. So thanks to him. And if you haven't seen him, you should look at his channel. He has a lot of insight on rigs and stuff like that. So
it's pretty good, yeah. So anyway, I don't know if there's much else, but that's kind of where we're at. That's what we're thinking about. And so what do you think? Fifth wheel, motorhome?
Yeah. Please leave a comment down below and let us know what your opinions are. So.
Yep.
And what brand should we go for? I mean, I really do like the American Coach and stuff like that, and I would like the side discharge for the radiator so I can get into the back of the coach and work on stuff. So
maybe someday we'll share our whole story about buying our RV and how interesting that turned out. So buying the one that's behind us now.
Yes. And we love it. I mean, don't get me wrong, we do love this fifth wheel. We're very comfortable in it and stuff like that. We're just running out of space for supplies down below. And I'm a hands-on person. I like to fix things. So.
And it's just because of the type of work that he's doing, it just takes a lot of space. So.
Yeah. But inside, we're very comfortable in it. So it's not that. It has nothing to do with that.
I do have one other thing that is a pro to getting a motorhome, and that is towing a Jeep, because we used to love to Jeep. We used to love to go off-road and go discover all that fun stuff up in the mountains, and if we're in the desert, being able to go tool around off-road. And so I really like the idea of having a Jeep again, because having a Dodge 3500 is not ideal for off-roading. So that's another pro, and that's something I've really been thinking about a lot. So, well, anyway, thank you all for your insight, and we will look for your comments, and we appreciate it.
That's right. And we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Because of the discussion about the fifth wheel versus a motorhome, we decided to break this episode into 2 parts. We look forward to reading about your experience living in a motorhome versus a fifth wheel, so leave your comments below. If you would like to follow along on our journey to adventure, don't forget to like and subscribe, and join us next Tuesday for some breathtaking boondocking in the Grand Tetons. See you soon!